I'll never forget the first time I used Tinder. It was 2015 during winter break when everyone was back home from college. I figured since I don't have a girlfriend and didn't have much going on, why not try the app that everyone was talking about? It was like 8 or 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, which was peak hours in terms of activity for the app. I downloaded the app onto my phone and it was time to set up my profile. I spent a good 10 minutes browsing through my photo albums and found four flattering photos of myself that I thought would catch people's attention. I wasn't really experienced with the whole witty and funny Tinder bio thing that guys are apparently supposed to do, so I just wrote a few things about myself. Like, I was 6 feet tall, played hockey at Penn State, and loved to work out. I swiped right for pretty much everyone just to see how many people would right swipe me back. I got through the given 100 likes quicker than I even expected and didn't get a single match. My self esteem was now completely in the toilet. I always thought of myself as really good looking, so I didn't understand how nobody could have liked me back. After waiting forever for some kind of notification to come up on my screen, I was considering just deleting the app to save my self esteem. But finally, a single vibration from my phone, along with the message, "Congratulations, you have a match," popped up on my phone. Overly excited, I went back into the app and saw that I had matched with the most gorgeous girl I'd seen on the app. She had four photos as well, one in a bikini with a friend, one with two girls kissing her on either cheek, one with her leaning on the brick wall, and one that appeared to be taken at a college frat party. She was 20 years old just like me and went to the Pennsylvania University. I messaged her with just a plain old "hey" with a smiley face. 10 seconds later, she responded with "hey cutie." I took a minute to think of something smart to say. Eventually, I wrote something about her sorority and that I had a friend in the same sorority at my school or something lame like that. She responded really quickly again this time, saying, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" and then a smiley face. I was typing my response when she sent another message saying, "You're so cute and so close. What are you doing tonight?" At this point, I was excited and thought this app was easier than I thought it would be. I responded quickly saying, "Just watching Elf, pretty exciting stuff." She replied back saying, "OMG, no way. Me too. You should come over and we can watch it together." And then a winky face. I told her I was down and asked for her number. She gave it to me quickly and I waited a minute before texting her, just so I wouldn't seem desperate. When I texted her, the message was sent as a text message, indicating this person wasn't using the iMessage app. I said, "Hey," once again. She replied, "Hey, come now," and then pasted the address. The address was 5 miles away from my house, or 10 minutes, which wasn't bad at all. I told her I'm on my way. Before leaving, I told my mom I was going out and left. The address was on the quieter side of town. Not necessarily a nice kind of quiet. I pulled up to the house. It had a decent location privacy-wise. Across the street were one of those huge pieces of land surrounded by trees that was dug out deep to collect water during rainfall, and the neighborhood houses were kind of spaced out. A red flag went off in my head when I noticed two cars in the driveway. I texted her saying I was there, and she replied, "KK, go around back, the front door is loud." I replied, "Are your parents home or something?" But she didn't answer me this time. I stepped out of the car and slowly walked around the house, noticing there was no fence to separate the front yard from the back. There was a window on the side of the house, and as I passed it, I realized there was an opening in the blinds. Someone was holding it up, but as soon as I noticed, the blinds fell back into place. I texted her again saying, "Was that you at the window?" No response. This was a little creepy now. I continued walking slowly to the backyard, thinking I could hear sounds coming from back there. For example, the brief sound of yard chair scraping against the concrete. I became so nervous to turn around that corner into the backyard that I froze at the edge of the brick wall, and just ever so gradually poked my head around the corner to see if anyone was in the backyard. As far as I could tell, nobody was back there, so I walked to the back door. It was a really old sliding glass door, so I could partially see into the house. Another thing I realized just then that raised more red flags was not even a single light was on in the house. You know what? I told myself. I'd text her one more time, and if she didn't respond, I was out of there. I took out my phone and texted her saying, "I'm at the back door, where are you?" She responded within 10 seconds saying, "Come in." I wasn't comfortable entering the house, so I decided to call her for the first time. But after entering the number, the screen said, "Text now audio call." Text Now is one of those iPhone apps that allows you to use a fake phone number for calls and texts. That meant this whole time, whoever this was using a fake phone number. However, the most disturbing part of this was when I heard the sound of a ringtone coming from right behind the glass door, as if somebody were leaning against the wall hiding. And now, as I looked more closely into the house, I could see the glow from a phone screen right next to the door, which confirmed that somebody was hiding there. I did not run. I tried to draw as little attention as possible by simply walking back around the house in the opposite direction I came from to avoid being seen through the door. When I was out of possible view, I ran full speed to my car and drove home. I did not check my texts until I got back home. I had 15 new messages waiting for me, about 12 of them asking, "Where'd you go? Why'd you leave? Come back," and so on. The last three were more disturbing though. First of the three messages said, "I'm not actually a 20-year-old girl, but I'm sure you figured that out by now." The next one was, "No laws were broken, LOL, good luck." The last one was, "I know exactly what you look like and I have your number." I blocked this fake number and went to report and match him on Tinder, but he had already done. That whole thing was something straight out of a nightmare, but luckily I never got any calls or texts from anyone suspicious, and I was able to forget about it quickly. I've used Tinder a few more times since then, but just for fun. I've never actually made an effort to go out and meet anyone from the app ever again.